There's less than a month before the November 3rd election, and can you believe it? The stakes are even higher. So, why are you voting? Hey, it's Elliot. Now that the president has been diagnosed with the coronavirus, it would appear that the fortunes for each presidential candidate is altered slightly. What isn't clear is how it may have changed and who this turn might favor. And that's going to be up to you and your vote. Something most of us plan to do. That includes producer, singer, songwriter Lynne Fiddmont. A consummate artist, Fiddmont spent much of the first part of her career singing backup for performers such as Stevie Wonder, Phil Collins, Natalie Cole, Barbra Streisand, and many others. She stepped out on her own in 2006 with her first solo album, Flow, a collection composed mostly by Fiddmont, including the title track.
Life's too short to sit around and wait for something good to fall down on you from on your lucky star.
Her fourth and latest release, The Power of Love, caught rapid airplay on radio and the internet. It features the second single release, Daylight.
I can see daylight, daylight. It's so amazing when I look in your eyes. Everything's alright, 'cause you're in my life. It's so amazing 'cause I see daylight. I was stuck
Lynne Fiddmont is standing by in her home somewhere in the Western Tier. Lynn, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? God, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Now I could see you.
We're seeing Daylight. I love that song. I can't get enough
Love
of
that like daylight back there.
that. Wow. So like what, 4 albums later? When's the fifth coming out? You got anything planned? What are you doing these days?
As you know, I've been on live learning to play the piano and be a better musician, play more instruments. So I am working on new music. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It kind of takes shape as I work. So I have been writing a lot and recording my own music some. Usually I have other musicians, and I will again, but I want to get to the point where I'm good at it, good
Yeah.
at making music as well as singing. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, and that online foray that you do every now and then, a lot of people are probably familiar with it. It's great because it just comes out of nowhere, and
That-
yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Liddy's singing to me. I can deal with this. It's cool. You get a lot of response from that?
I do. It's a funny thing. I started 2 years ago in an effort to learn to play the piano better. So I felt like if I had someone to hold me accountable, I would be accountable. I would practice. I would touch the piano that's actually sitting in there. Sometimes I just walk by and I may dust it and I may not dust it. But I don't. I wasn't playing it. So 2 years ago, I said I'm going to go on live for 1 month every day, and it turned into a lot longer. And I'm enjoying it, especially since we're in a pandemic and I can't visit people. It's my social outlet too. I get hi to people I haven't seen, and kind of that.
And it's wonderful. It's wonderful too. And I enjoy the times that I see you, particularly with your daughter and your son, who you have performed with, have you not?
Oh yes. My daughter sits and sings with me. She used to be my guinea pig. I'd say, sing this song because it's hard to sing and play. And then it developed into this real thing where I'm actually playing better and she sings great. So I enjoy it so much, and she's grown a lot from it. She's doing her own music. They're starting a group. I think I don't know if I want to give the name of the group away soon, but they're writing. They may change it, so I don't want to do that. But
Sure.
my son is doing music also. Go figure. But he is doing educational hip hop music geared to underprivileged kids. it's in the, the style of the music that they listen to, their most, popular people that they listen to, but it's information such as black inventors, measurement, fractions, math, parts
Right.
of speech. It's amazing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's doing
And you had a turn with him recently for a piece that you guys did for One Step for Democracy. This voice.
rapper, extraordinary rapper. And this voice was Yvette Casson called me and asked me to sing on this song called This Voice. And it talks about voting and why we want to vote and how important actually using our voice is today. So,
Let's take a quick listen.
Court,
Yeah, take a quick listen. Lynn and her son Courtney. I think you'll be able to tell which one is
will
which.
love, the son will love. That's his.
Let me get this straight. As long as I can act, dribble a ball, or rap like Drake, then the matter that makes up my body matters enough to mourn. We've been born from pain and raised by resilience. History raped, robbed, and pillaged, but my black is still a privilege. Without justice, it is hard to find peace in the midst of the noise, but it echoes with love when I lift up my voice. You're meant to be heard.
He's really good. It's really because I remember when that started, and they were struggling with trying to really make an impact with it. And after Courtney came along with that one little piece, okay, we peg everything on that right there. That's the
Seriously,
moment.
like tearing up because I'm just proud. I'm so proud of both of them for so many reasons, but their art is one major part, but the other part is just like the people they are. I just really am excited about
Yeah,
who they've become.
absolutely. You absolutely should be. And speaking of that, we've got this so very important 3 weeks coming up where people are coming up to another vote, which seems consequential, but and I tell this to everybody. We started out 1 to 18, not really caring about our vote at all. Then all of a sudden things changed. I'm sure they did for you in a way too, but what was your change and how have you been able to pass that along to your children?
Well, up until a certain point, it was a civic duty. It was just, we're voting, yeah, we're going to vote. But here lately, it's become more urgent. And I just know that I want to make a change. I want to use my voice. I want to use this voice and make our world a better world for everybody, not just the rich, not just the privileged. And as I talk to my kids, we have these not, at some point, certain information, like the misinformation, has spread throughout the youth. They don't believe that voting counts. A lot of times they didn't believe that voting counts. We've had to really go around and around and around about it. My kids are like, okay, relax. I'm the one convincing my
Really?
friends to, because there are a lot of kids, young people who don't see the change. They think it doesn't matter. And if it didn't matter, why would they try to suppress it? They would just let anybody vote. They wouldn't even worry about suppressing a vote. And so we went through all the things about our parents. Our parents went through so much to get the vote. It would be dishonoring them. It's dishonoring their memory not to take into account all the battles and the problems they went through to get to this point where we can actually vote as
Yep,
equal. And
absolutely.
that's what we, exercise.
How tolerant are you of the few people that we're told who are out there now who are mulling around saying, okay, this is not worth my time. I don't like any of these candidates. It's not worth my vote. I'm not voting this year. I don't understand that from a
I don't.
gut level.
I don't either. And one friend of mine wrote and said, I don't appreciate it. I'm just going to turn off my TV and back up. And I was like, that's a vote for the opposition. I mean, opposition is a strong word, but not in this day and time. I was talking to somebody about being a Democrat and a Republican and how you have to label yourself. There are some things about Republican values don't that agree with me. There are a lot of things I'm more prone to Democratic views, but some Republican things. So, but now we're such in black and white. We're so divided that we have to uh, balance. Balance is so important. I do Tai Chi every morning,
Hmm.
and that helps me to understand and think in those terms every day about the balance that we need. If we got, who can walk with two right feet? Nobody. So you need a right foot and a left foot. So you need balance in sports. That's why I vote.
Yeah.
We need balance this stuff out.
We've been talking a lot this year too about it's so difficult. There are so many twists and turns, so many people trying to suppress your vote around the country was just unbelievable in this day and age. But we've heard the phrase "plan your vote." Have you voted already, or if you haven't, how are you planning to do it this year?
I am going through each article and making sure I know. Sometimes in the past, I've just kind of skimmed through those 15 or 20 some odd, what do you call them? When you have to vote yes on Proposition 15. Or
Hmm.
I didn't always know those, but this time I'm taking all the time to know what each one means because they all mean something and it's all important. And that's what I'm doing. I practice my vote. I have a practice vote and I have an official mail-in ballot. I'm not sure I'm going to use it, but my plan is to go in with a mask, gloves, and a shield, some antiviral. I'm going to go in because I want my vote counted on that day, on November 3rd. I want to see a big, unsurmountable victory for Joe Biden. And I
Hallelujah.
want to see on that day, if possible. And I tell people, my mom came up with an idea where she suggested that young people organize, people who are not so susceptible to complications to the coronavirus, and organize to stand in line for elderly people
Hmm.
while they wait in their cars, and when they get close, they can call them and tell them come and take your place in line. I think that's a good idea. So if anyone hears that out there and has the desire to get started, organize so that your elders can vote in person without a risk to their health so much.
Sounds like a plan to me.
So
Work your
that's my
plan,
mom.
girl. Work that plan. That's all we need. Plan to vote. Lynne Fiddmont,
Thank
thank you so very much for coming in and doing this today. You know how much I appreciate you and care for your talent. So keep singing. All the best to you
Okay.
going forward.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. Right now, we're about 3 weeks away from the November 3rd election. Remember, that's not your first chance to vote. In many ways, it's your last. That's why we're leaving some links in the comments below to help you vote conveniently and safely. Remember to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, then go vote. In person, vote by mail if you have to. Vote early if you can, but please go vote.